Defying Gravity. It's one of my favorite Broadway songs, and I can't believe I've not reacted to this yet, so we're gonna fix that problem today.
Something is not the same.
I just love her vocal intonation. Her tonality is so good.
I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game.
That's kind of an important vocal part that you just heard. The rules of some. So there's a lot of change there between registers. She did the in chest, rules. It's a beautiful O and head voice. And then she did this really nice kind of vocal sway. Some, which is beautiful. It's actually a little more poppy than traditional Broadway would lend itself to be, but that's kind of the way Wicked and a bunch of other musicals, I would say as of like 15 years ago, have that bent towards. It's like this pop Broadway feel. And so vocally, because of the way that the music is written, the vocalists also are influenced by that and lean into that kind of pop vibe. And this is a perfect example of that vocal sway that she did.
Someone else's game.
Beautiful and bright.
Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep.
Man.
It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave.
Live performance singers out there, when you are performing a very well-known song live, it is so wonderful to take vocal authority and a little bit of vocal discernment and play with the melodic line as well as the rhythm. Listen to what she did here. It's not the actual rhythm. She waited and then rushed the words.
Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try.
Oh gosh, I love a live orchestra.
Kissing me goodbye. I am defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down.
It's very important that you know that when she's singing, it's time to try defying gravity. Can you hear where she switches to chest? It's beautifully smooth. However, if you have a trained ear and you're listening carefully, you'll know that she's singing this first part very easily. It's very vocally easy for her. She's not belting fully. It's time to try is mixed. There are elements of chest in there, but it is not full chest, okay? She'll get to that, I'm sure, later. When she goes lower into the defying gravity, that's where she goes to chest. Right there on gravity.
You can't pull me down.
And that's chest as well. So as a singer, it's really important to know how to save your voice and save your vocal dollars throughout a song, because this is a very vocally demanding song. It's why I'm reacting to it. And this is a live performance. And what I love about live performances like these is that there's not auto-tune on the mic. Like, this is true blue live performance singing, and whatever you get, whatever that comes out of the mouth is what the audience hears. You don't get a whole lot of that anymore, unfortunately.
Accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so.
Little push ahead of the rhythmical pattern of the melody there.
Change, but till I try, I'll never know.
Now that's chest.
Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I've lost
Chest.
Well, if that's love, it comes in much too high a
Much. Mix. Gravity's chest.
Kiss me goodbye. I am defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity.
That's interesting. So the whole time there, it was mixed until she did yang. I think I'll try defying gravity. So she pulled up the note from phi into the higher yang and did chest there. But up until then, every chorus has been mixed chest. I'll try defying gravity. Pulling it up, stretching it up.
And you can't pull me down.
Like that. I love her dress, by the way. Just a fashion note.
Limited.
Swallowing.
Our future is unlimited.
Swallowing again. She knows what's about to come. She's prepping for it. Did you notice the diphthong she did there? I know. Listen, I know diphthongs are stereotypically and traditionally done in country music, but it's totally appropriate here. I mean, you probably didn't even notice it. It probably didn't even give you pause or like get highlighted to you. But I know is actually an easy way of moving one single step up. Now, not many steps, but one single step up vocally in faster paced melodic lines like this. That it's not necessarily an extreme note high or low. It's just a thing. It's just part of the little melody, and that's okay. You know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend going up the octave and singing E, no, because E has no space, and any extreme note, high or low, has to have more space as a singer. It's one of the golden rules of Tara Simon Studio singing. Singing smarter, not harder. Any extreme note, high or low, has to have more space. So you wouldn't do that higher, but since it's a mid-range note, it actually costs her less to just go E, no, instead of I know. It feels easier in the voice.
Truly crazy.
Love the acting here.
The vision's hazy, but I swear someday I'll be.
Love the orchestra. Yes, look at that mouth. Gorgeous. All chest. Modulation. Fine. I could do a whole masterclass just on how she sang and executed that look. We're gonna listen to it one more time, see what you notice about it, and then see if what I say matches what you noticed. I love so many things about that. Okay, so first of all, let's just talk about her body language. Let's talk about how singing is a full body athletic performance. And when she did look, it's literally doing what I tell my singers to do when I say throw the note away. She's going, look. And she's, as if the note is in the tip of her finger, she's taking it from behind and she is throwing it forward. The reason that's so important is because singing is 90% mental and only 10% talent. And when you are using your whole physical body to throw something forward and out away from you, there is no strain there. There's freedom there. There is forward motion there. There's inertia there, okay? And you're not backing up. You're not kinking in like this back pressure in your throat, because it's got to come forward. Your whole body is engaged and invested in that forward motion because everything in you is doing that, okay? So that's first of all, number one. Number two, when she says L, anybody know? Raise your hand if you're watching this video. Anybody know what an L is? It's a semiphonatable consonant. Yes, you were right. Yay. Pat yourself in the back. It's not a non-phonatable consonant. It's not a p-t-k-s. Okay? It's ul. You can make a sound and say the consonant at the same time. Because it's semiphonatable, you can sing on that note. And guess what? If you can sing on that note, that means you can tune on that note. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's phonating or singing on that L to prep and rev up her vocal engine into getting up to that O, which, by the way, is not the best vowel to sing high notes on, okay? I know I'm like getting a little passionate here, but it'd be great if it was on an A or an ah even, but it's an so you want to change a little bit of the integrity of that O to make it a little more open, which she did. It's not a true it's a l, right? You can see her mouth. However, she's tuning on that L, so she's going up to the western sky. You've got two notes. You've got and the two notes, but she's kind of using it to get up to it. Do you hear that? It'd be so much harder if she just went that sounds terrible, right? You need that lower note on that semiphonatable L to get yourself up to that note. It's high. That's an F5, people. That's a half semitone above the money note section. If you don't know what the money note section is, well, join a course of mine. You'll know what the money note section is. But at top of the money note section is an E5, and that is an F, super high. To Broadway standard, that's one of the higher belt, like pinnacles of female belting that you're gonna hear in many humongous songs. Case in point. Here it is. Puro. She did the same thing there, only it was on an E. Everyone! Do you hear how she's everyone? The same principle with the look to the western sky, only this one was on an open mouth vowel, which honestly I prefer. It's easier, right? And it's beautiful. It also adds a lot more emotion to it instead of just everyone, which is still flat, because it's really hard just to rip a Band-Aid off and go that high, which is an E flat. It's only one whole step down below the F that she just sang. So good.
Chance to fly.
Fly.
And I'm flying solo. At least I'm flying free.
Free.
To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them I am defying gravity.
Woo.
I'm flying high, defying gravity.
Woo! There's that F again. Only this time it's on an I, which is great. Defying gravity. And I like how she hung on to the D so that she didn't have to hang on to the phi a lot longer. Like she got on and off the note. Also, it's a big challenge to sing that word defy because is a non-phonatable consonant, right? So you really got to get on and off that F very quickly. Otherwise, the pitch has to recalibrate. And because you're only singing 1 second on that top note, if you're off, there's no time to tune. So you're either on or you're off. So I like to take that F, and if it's a non-phonatable F, then it becomes a semi-phonatable V. Hope you could answer. It's kind of like Dora the Explorer, you know, when like they give the answers, but they wait for the audience member to give it first. Enter training. Gravity.
I'll match them in renown.
Taking a vocal break here.
Nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was.
So good. Love her commitment here. Look at her eyes. Look at her tongue there. Notice how she grabbed onto the microphone there. It's a physical sport to sing, and you need an anchor sometimes. You need this like, oh, me! Now, the only thing I'm questioning a little bit right now is where her tongue is placed. You see how it's kind of like in the middle? It's kind of floating there, and it's tensed and it's pulled back. I personally like my singers, and me too, it's comfier to place the tip of the tongue behind the bottom teeth like this, so that you create this scooped out kind of shape in your tongue so that the sound has a more clear path to get out of you. If the tongue is stuck up top in the middle, then the sound has to breach up and then come out. So I like to just make it as easy as possible to not create any kind of kinks or backup moments. So, me, instead of me. When my tongue goes up, it just thins out the sound and it does not create a clear path. Her sound was fine, but I think it cost her a little bit more to do that. And you watch and decide. It's a little thin. But that though. Just freeze frame that. And the way that she ended that was perfect. Notice on the WN, she didn't close her jaw at all. Oh my gosh, I tell my singers to do this all the time. When you're singing and it's a high note, sometimes the hardest part about a high note is how to get off of it. How do I end this note? Down! It's really difficult. It's almost like this downturn of pitch when we try to go to the WN or to whatever consonant the word ends on when we're high. So what she did, which is exactly what I tell my singers to do, is use your tongue, not your jaw, whenever possible. And that's what she did to the end. She went da-na instead of da-on with her jaw and her lips, okay? W's make you close the lips, N's make you close the jaw. But if you're being thoughtful about your technique, you can override that. You can change that by using something else, and it's your tongue mostly that you can use to create vowels and consonants and change them without using your mandible or your lips to do so. So, down instead of down, which it just thins out. It's not as pleasing. Also, if you think about just simply breathing in, instead of trying to stop the sound at all, just get the tongue to the end and just take a breath. And by taking a breath, just by virtue of taking a breath, you can't continue singing. Try to sing and take a breath in. It doesn't work. It's like physiologically impossible. So just go down, and I just think about the N with my tongue and taking a breath. It's over before I know it. Let's listen one more time. Dropped and locked. Woo! Gorgeous. Hang on, girl. Woo! Actually, I'm so glad she did at the end because there's one more little vocal nugget to give you. The way that she ended that note was not the same way she ended the down. And it's just as effective, especially if it's the last part of a song, like it is here. So instead of going down, she did and fell off of the note. It's this beautiful release, and it's this beautiful fall off that's so vocally healthy to do, because your larynx is just releasing, and so is the breath, and so is the diaphragm all at once while the pitch is lowering. You're not sticking that same note. So emotionally as well as sonically, you're winning. There's no losing there. So either way you choose to end high notes, 1 or 2 here, you cannot go wrong. I'm gonna admit this to you, geeking out on Broadway songs is one of my literal favorite things to do, especially female vocalists for some reason. So if you wanna hear an amazing, amazing vocal performance of one of my all-time favorite songs on my own, you gotta check out Lea Salonga in this video.